Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us. This is Super Tea with Nat Z. I'm Nat.
And I'm Z. Hello,
Sup,
hello.
sup? How y'all doing today?
This has been a crazy week. A lot of emotionally charging events have happened over the last couple days.
Yes.
So we all hope that you are doing what you can to
Taking care of yourself.
Yes, preserve. Woo. Preserve your mental well-being.
She was just trying to be pacific.
Yes, I was. Due to the buses.
Periodically. Because it's getting worser and worser. If y'all don't know what we're talking about,
you have to find
the clip.
Yes.
And it just brings so much humor and joy to our lives.
Yes.
And
I be missing appointments. Doctor's appointments.
And it's supposed to be getting much better, best, worser, but it's not. That is one of the ways we've been trying to deal with this week. We've had to offset add some levity to our lives, but definitely acknowledging the strain and stress that's going on. But you got to figure out a way to offset that, and periodically we try to do that. Buses.
I'm telling you.
Goodness. Oh my
goodness,
y'all.
Between that one and the one, I don't know if you've seen the one with the because TikTok, they do a lot of voiceover. So this one was a voiceover, and I've seen it a few times where the lady, or either the ones I've seen is either a lady's in her car or a man is in his car, and they be like, "Ooh, shit. Let me go ahead for these 8 hours. Lord Jesus, give me another job."
They are so funny. Oh my goodness.
You cannot outdo us. I'm telling you.
No, our
Black
humor,
people will find a way.
To anything will find humorous in some way, shape, or form.
Oh yes,
it's a gift.
Yes, it is a gift.
It's a gift.
It definitely
and a
is
mechanism that is shared by few.
Yes,
I will say.
Yes.
I will say. So,
and I mean, find your bliss, find your center, find your joy when you go through challenging things. My joy this week was watching some things on TV that made me laugh. Shopping.
Shopping is always nice.
Yeah, but I've been clocking these shoes. I've been clocking these sandals. So y'all may have heard me a few episodes ago. I was clocking this bag. I bought the bag. I finally bought the bag. The bag was on my. Actually, the bag was on my what the hell? You know what I'm talking about?
That list?
No, the thing you do at the beginning of the year.
Oh, your vision board.
Yes, the bag was on my vision board. Because, the bag wasn't necessarily on my vision board, but it was basically saying that, I can take care, I could do things that bring me joy.
As you should, and reward yourself.
I can reward myself. I don't need to feel guilty about spending money on myself. So there was a bag that I have been coveting for a while, and I just kept going back and forth for whether I should buy it, and I bought it.
Yay!
So it hasn't arrived yet, and that's a whole nother story. Hopefully, it's lost in the mail, but we're gonna work it out.
It's gonna get here.
I hope. And so there's a pair of shoes now that I want, that I have been coveting. They're classic. I'm like, I talked to a friend of ours about the shoes, and she's like, you should get them. Get them. You deserve them. Get them.
You work hard.
I do. I work damn hard. So
I don't see why you shouldn't.
I think I'm going to buy them.
I think you should. But I'm was window shopping a lot this weekend.
Yes.
I've been on a whole bunch of sites that I saw this Celine bag, and I was talking to one of my mentees, and she's like, so I think you should get off the site. I was like, I know. She's like, I said, but it's so pretty. She's like, well, think about it for like another couple of days and then still get off the site.
But I will say, you could, we're going to we're going to pivot a little bit. For those of us who are fashion minded, but if you have luxurious tastes, but limited pockets, right?
Yes.
Or even if you have the means, but you just don't feel like, I am one of those type of people where if I can afford it, it still makes me feel bad for spending the money.
That
Because I
much
always
money.
feel like you could
Yeah.
be doing so much more with this money. And sometimes I have to take a
Yeah.
break and say, but did you handle your business? Yes. So if
Yes,
your
that's a
bills are
good
paid
question.
and your business is handled, you have your money in your savings, you've done all you're supposed to do, that you can treat yourself to them.
Yes. Treat yourself.
Treat yourself. There are ways that, and we're going to talk about this in a future episode, but there are ways and sites that you can go to that will allow you to enjoy luxury at
Yes.
a cheaper price. You could do
We're-
Rue La La, you
Yes.
could do Guilt.
Yeah, Guilt.
A lot of those sites offer like those payment plan things, like things like Affirm,
Afterpay,
Quad Pay, Afterpay.
Sezzle,
Yes. So there's a lot of ways.
Klarna.
Yes.
There's so many. There's so many different ways.
So there's a way for you to afford it, and we will talk in the future about how you can do that should you choose to ball on a budget. But
yeah,
but that's not today.
Right.
Today is about decluttering your shit, not adding to your shit.
Like we are trying to now by shopping. But needless to say, you can declutter your shit so you can get some new shit.
Right. Hey, hello. So let's just get right into the tea of the day. We ain't tea experts. You on medication, make sure you check to make sure they don't mix with your medication. Talk to your doctors. And we're not affiliated with any of these companies, but hopefully in the future we can get some endorsements. So
yes,
what we sipping on, what we sipping on, what we sipping
So we have two today that go with the decluttering your life topic, and they're cleansing teas and detox teas. One tea is by Puka Cleanse. I drank some of this last week. It's made with organic aloe vera, dandelion, fennel, licorice, nettle, and peppermint, which we all know are great detox, wash you out type of additives, if you will. With this particular tea bag, you need to make sure that the flavors are fully dispersed by pouring boiling water directly on the bag. That's very important to make sure the flavor develops and all of that good stuff and the notes of whatever. Even though it's a detox cleanse tea, it still is flavorful. Then going on to the detox tea from Yogi, this also has burdock and dandelion, juniper berry, ginger, black pepper, supports digestion and circulation. So making sure all these things are taken into account to help with your wellness program and decluttering your body and detoxing your body so that you can go and declutter yourself, your household, so you can buy some new stuff to put back in your body or whatever you're doing because it's springtime and you need to declutter.
You do. Oh, you do. So hot tea is not a lot today, just because, like I said last week, I just kind of distanced myself from social media per se, because there are just too many instances of Black bodies on the ground, and I just can't. After a while, you just have to step away. I mean, between the George Floyd trial, it's just too much.
It's too much. All in a week. Just
right.
The mass shootings. It's a lot.
It's a lot.
Yeah, and you either become desensitized or you just implode.
Right.
But you got to find some other ways to decompress.
You absolutely do. And this is an episode that we'll talk, although this is a topic that we'll talk about in the future. It's like how, like, a lot of people live with fear, right? I don't typically live with fear because fear can limit you from doing anything.
It can be crippling.
It can be crippling. And fear can be attached to your anxiety, can be attached to a lot of other issues. And so I've learned to just let fear go. It's not an easy process by any means. It's very
different
difficult
for everybody.
And it's difficult. But I just can't live in the mindset of fear, because fear will, like, you'll wake up one day 75 years old and realize you haven't done anything. You've missed everything because of your fear. And fear can show up in a lot of different ways, right? Fear of flying, fear of traveling, fear of going to the movies, fear of, like, going to open outdoor space. There's a lot of fear that has seeped into our lives lately. But we'll talk about that and how to deal with that at another episode. But that was just something that I'm pretty sure has been the topic of conversation during this week because of everything that's been transpiring. So the hot tea I have really isn't a lot. The DMX memorial has been set for this upcoming weekend. It's friends and family only at the Barclays Center, which is in Brooklyn. So, it's sad. It's still sad to see.
He's such a tortured soul. I hope he has peace.
I'm hoping so too.
He's had a hard life.
He really has. I saw a Swiss Beats posted something on his. I don't know if it was in his stories or if it was on his page. But anyway, I watched this and he took his phone out and recorded the sky, and there was an X in the sky. And he was just like, really? You really gonna come over here and put an X in the sky over my house, dog? And apparently people had called him, was like, are you looking at the sky right now? Do you see this X in the sky? And it literally was an X in the sky. So, if you're a spiritual person or you believe in a higher power, that is something that's very deep.
And
that
significant
is very significant.
And it resonates with your belief system.
It really does. Black Rob. Many of you may or may not know Black Rob. He was part of the Bad Boy for Life. He was a Bad Boy member. He was on Bad Boy Records. Unfortunately, he passed away at 51 from kidney failure. It's very sad. He had posted a few videos a couple, days ago talking about the issues he was having, the amount of pain that he was in. And
he was sick for a while, right?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
So, much love to his family and to his friends. It's sad. I mean, they both were at the same age. Like, the DMX is 50, Black Rob is 51, both from the same time span, where R&B and hip hop were really just like y'all. If y'all just don't know,
that's like one of the best musical times ever.
Yeah,
I think one of the best.
And I'm gonna say this, and then we'll move on real quickly. I was sitting here thinking about how we always are talking about, such and such is better than such and such. Such and such is better than such and such. And I've realized something. Gen Xers, I know I harp on Gen X, but that's where I fall, right?
Right.
Gen Xers don't do that. We never said that Usher was better than Teddy Pendergrass or Luther Vandross or any of these singers.
Oh, there was nothing. That is so true.
We never do that.
That is
the
so
generations
true.
after us always have to say somebody is better than somebody else. Oh, Nicki Minaj is better than Lil' Kim.
Yeah.
You're lying.
Who's
She's not.
The one who said he was the best R&B ever, and they were like, for this daycare, Jeremiah or Jada? No,
not Jada.
I'm not Jada. What is his name? Oh my God.
Jacquees or whatever.
Jacquees. Yes, I knew it was a Ja.
Yeah, Jacquees.
There was a Ja in there. Yes,
and I was like, no. I mean,
we were like, it's a no.
Right.
Hard no.
And you see people saying Chris Brown is better than Usher. No.
No.
I had this conversation with my husband recently, and I was like, if you take the Confessions album, and put it up to any Chris Brown album, it's never going to. None of Chris Brown's albums will ever win. You take 8701 and put it up to any of Chris Brown albums, it's not going to win. I'm sorry. I don't know what y'all smoking. Yeah, he's a better dancer than Usher. I will give that to him.
Yes.
He has a natural gifted ability when it comes to dancing. But no, he's not better than Usher. He's just not.
Come on
he's not.
Give Usher his props.
He crawled so that Chris Brown could run.
And these are our confessions.
These are our confessions.
These are our confessions.
But you have to put respect. I think our generation has always put the respect where the respect is due. I've never in the history of my life said anybody from this generation is better than anybody in the previous generation. I've never said that because it will be a lie. It'll be a lie.
We were outside gardening yesterday, and Will was playing like the soundtrack for Black Messiah, but then He was playing some other stuff from KRS-One, some new stuff. And like, that's timeless. Like, I was like, outside, I was like, is this KRS? What? You're not going to say that about half the people today.
Keyword timeless. There are songs that you will listen to now from Usher or from, I'm trying to even think of DMX. There are songs that you will have that will forever stay in your mind
and define your life period time.
Always.
Yeah.
Always. It just is. I mean, not Chris, what's it? Carl Thomas.
Oh, yes. We were singing that last night on the porch.
I don't care where you are. If you're in a club and that song comes on and the DJ hits that break, everybody's singing it. Everybody's singing it. So
yes. I know our neighbors hated us last night. They was
girl, like, hey, it is what it is.
Singing on the porch.
I just had to get that out. And then I'm watching a show. It's the second season, The Circle. It's on Netflix.
That's how you post that.
Yes. I watched the first season, was good. So it got me hooked. And I was like, oh, do I really want to watch this? I'm hooked. But Netflix is playing with me because they only released the first 4 episodes. Wednesday, they're supposed to drop the next 4. So I'm like really like anxiously waiting to see what the hell is going to happen. If you don't watch The Circle is basically, I think it puts a spotlight on social media and how you can cultivate whatever type of personality you want. You can be whoever you want to be on social media. Yeah. And there are people who you give false titles to, who can run, who you let run you or tell you what to do or how to be. And it's really good. It's really good because there are people who play themselves, like, hey, I'm me, and there are people who are playing somebody else
and manufactured.
Yes, it's a guy who's playing his best friend who's a girl. So there's a girl on there who's playing her husband. So there's just a lady on there who's a personal assistant to Lance Bass, and she came on as Lance Bass. And these people really believe it.
But it reflects life.
It does. It does.
It's like the social experiment.
Yes, it is very much a social experiment, and it's really good. And they don't know who they are, so they're trying to figure out if this person is real or fake. So it's pretty good. But if you have some time and you want to just decompress and have something mindless to watch and zone out, that's a perfect thing. Cool. And that's all the hot tea I have. So
all right, so we're gonna take a quick break and come back and jump right into our tea time segment. We are back to declutter your life. So first out game, and we were just talking about social media and whatnot, looking at your digital life. We all know just by what we were talking about with folks being on social media and hiding under certain personas or being influencers and all of that. That's all plays into how to, some things you need to declutter in your digital life. But first off, make sure you back up everything. I think we've all been in a situation where we've lost some stuff and thought we backed it up and then life was over. Yeah, that happened with my thesis in grad school, and it was not a good thing. So make sure you back it up. And then that whole cloud thing, wherever the cloud is, who the cloud is with, what the cloud is, just use it to back up your stuff. And then, after you finish backing stuff up, delete what doesn't serve you. And that even goes for people that you follow. So, people you clearly don't give you any value added to your life. Just like you're throwing away stuff and your physical stuff, you need to delete and empty your trash stuff because you just don't need it, right? Blurry selfies, text threads. We've all been on several text threads with the same people and we don't know which thread is what. And then you just declutter that. All the extra pictures, stuff like that. Organize your files and apps. Do a sweep, because we all know we've downloaded something in the midst of doing something, and we go back and we're like, we don't even know what the app is for. So, and it's taking up your memory and all that other stuff. Unsubscribe to email services. We've all subscribed to something. As soon as you get on a website, it pops up and says you get 10% off. And then all the time. And then you get emails and you're like, I don't even know what this is about. So... And the huge one, toxic social media profiles. People really zone in on that stuff, and they're kind of mindless entertainment, but it plays on your psyche.
Yes,
And
it
then you
does.
start
Oh
to
yeah.
think, what's going on with you, and I'm not good enough, or I should be at this point and I'm not.
Mm-hmm.
And like we said, people make shit up all the time.
They do. So that is a good. So let me tell you what I just found out. These stars that we see out here, because that a few months ago, there's this big Birkin bag like debate on Instagram. Well, what I found out is a lot of these stars that y'all see getting these Birkin bags are not getting them from Hermes directly. They're not. They're getting them from brokers or second hand dealers because Hermes needs to invite you to come and purchase their bag.
That part.
They need to invite you, and you need to have spent, for you to even get an invitation, you need to have spent a certain amount of money with them first before they allow you to even purchase the bag. So don't get caught up into this hype of these people are affording $50,000 bags and they have 6 or 7 of them, because they're not getting them directly from them. And if you don't see them in the store, because these, and this is the thing, that these social media presences love to show you everything that they're doing, where they're going, how they're spending their money. They're in this store, that store.
Or they're not spending.
How many times have you seen them in an Hermes store?
Never. Rarely.
That part.
They just say, "Oh, I got a Birkin."
They show you the box. They show you open it, but you don't know where that came from. So stop believing the hype. I found that out.
You don't know if it's the $17,000 one or the $35,000 one.
You don't even know if it's real. Hello.
How about that? Can we talk about that part?
So,
got the money,
right?
And you out here trying to keep up with folks,
right? And they probably got a lot of them bags because those uber rich been doing what? Declutter in their home, which you need to be doing.
Decluttering.
Well, some of us need to be doing right now. So if you are in the, I would say in the abyss right now of can't figure out what to do, your house is a mess and you want to declutter and you're trying to figure out how to start or how to do it. One of the things you can start thinking about is tossing the trash before you even organize, before you even get your, start to really get into the weed of things. Figure out what you want to keep around and what you don't. That's the easiest way, right? Store specialty or seasonal items. So if you're somebody like Nat that loves Christmas and all things Christmas, you will have a section maybe in your basement or in your storage closet that is, separated by the seasons or by the holidays.
Yep.
And then it's easy to get to when that holiday or season comes, and it's easy to put back because you know where everything is. It's organized.
Very much.
Get rid of anything that has expired. This is especially important when it comes to makeup. Yes, your makeup does expire.
Good point.
There is a little calendar icon on the back of or the bottom of a lot of makeup that you have, and it'll tell you there'll be a number. That number indicates how many months from the time that you purchase it that you have to use it. Listen to that again. From the time you purchase it to the time
just like milk. Just like milk.
Don't be still using mascara from 3 years ago.
Right, because that has bacteria. Yes. Just like milk is expired. So does your mascara.
Eyelashes falling out, eyes all pinky. You try to figure out what the problem is.
I have a sty again. I don't understand. When's the last time you changed your mascara?
Exactly. And I understand it's hard because a lot of us do spend our good coins on purchasing some good quality makeup, but you do have to throw it away. Okay?
Maybe it's Maybelline. Maybe it's an infection.
You need to separate your wardrobe by season. So that's a good way to do it. I separate my wardrobe by season, but it's more, I have winter and fall together and spring and summer together. That's how I separate it. And I do separate my closet and I change it out. And that helps because then you could figure out what you still wear and what you don't wear, what you need to toss, what you don't need to toss, what you can fit and what you don't fit. You can create a capsule or uniform wardrobe. This is something that I aspire to do. I'm not at that point yet.
That's kind of
dope. A capsule wardrobe is just a mini wardrobe that's made up of really versatile pieces that you totally love to wear, right? So some examples of that would be like a nice trench coat, a tank top, a blazer, a white blouse, which is definitely a staple, denim, a nice pair of denim jeans, a little black dress, because we all need a little black dress, white sneakers, because they can go with anything, a midi skirt, not a mini, midi, M-I-D-I.
Midi.
Midi.
Not mini, midi. Let's say that again.
Yes. And there are other things you can add to this, but it's the key is not to add too much. So you can have a nice scarf if you're into scarves, you know, a nice sweater or a cardigan, things like that. You can add those things to your capsule, but the key is to minimize what you have in your closet. Donate what you don't wear. You could do the 1 year rule. Like if you haven't worn it in a year, it's time to go, or the 2 season rule. So if you wear something one spring, the next spring comes, you haven't worn it. When you go switch out your closet again, it's time to toss it, because there are 2 seasons that you have not worn it.
And then there's the season of I can't fit that anymore. So
we all
have that section of the closet that we're like, oh, I'm gonna get back at these. Please just wait and see. And I mean, I'm not here to rain on your weight loss, better improvement, self-improvement. However,
let's be realistic. Them size 2 need to go.
You ain't been in that in like 5 years. You need to let that go. Okay?
You ain't been in that since 20 years.
Yeah, exactly. Talking about I can still fit them. No, you can't. The only thing you can still fit from 20 years ago is some earrings. Let it go. And keep it moving.
Oh, jeez. You could shred or recycle anything that's outdated. I will say around springtime, because I know that's about to happen. I actually joined, side note, a grad chapter recently, and they posted that they're having a shred event. And the shred event is next weekend. So I would say look into your community. A lot of communities have these shred events where you can come and bring your documents or whatever you have, your papers that you don't want to just throw away because there may be sensitive items on there, but you need to shred them. So I would say look for that, because those definitely pop up a lot in the springtime, because this is the time when people really are cleaning out their homes to make room or just to declutter.
Yeah. I need to go pay my dues. That's a reminder.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Invest in storage and or organization staples. You know, you can consolidate things, like you can group your light bulbs together, your batteries together, so that you know where to find them and you're able to determine when you can purchase more. And you don't have to go to the Container Store or some expensive place to buy your containers. You can go to the dollar store. Okay, the dollar store has a lot of nice stuff. You can go to Amazon. I actually just purchased some shoe boxes, these plastic shoe boxes. I had to
clear.
Yes, but I had to construct them because I don't like the ones with the tops.
Yeah,
because they crack a lot. So the ones I have like doors in the front that open, and I can pull the shoe out. But you do have to put them together. But I spent like for 12, it's like $20, if that.
Oh, that's good.
So I purchased those. I'm going to purchase some more because I want to get rid of the shoe boxes because they collect a lot of dust, and just put my stuff in these clear, you know, storage containers. That's cool. So you don't have to spend a lot. Like, you can do all of these things without spending a lot of money. IKEA is also another good place to go to get some inexpensive storage items. Wayfair has a lot of good things. Walmart. So, you know, don't think that you have to spend thousands and thousands of dollars.
You really don't. I just got a closet system. I can't remember if it was Wayfair or Amazon that I bought to restructure my closet. Fell down probably because I had too many clothes. So that kind of triggered me to have to. This is my other bathroom walk-in closet. So I was like, I guess I probably should declutter and reconstruct this closet to reorganize. It kind of by default triggered. Now I need to get rid of some stuff. Right. And figure out better shelving and storage solutions.
Yes.
Definitely encourage you to do that.
Yes, sir.
So it's part of decluttering your storage areas. That's part of making sure every other area of your life is decluttered.
Yes.
It is a step in that direction. Like conducting a calendar audit. This is so important. And I need to do this myself because I have like 5 working calendars because of work and my organizations and just my personal goals, bills, and stuff, and I need to consolidate or figure out if I'm going to section off. I haven't figured that out yet. But conduct a calendar audit and then find a planning system that works for you. This is so important. I've literally been doing this research for the past couple of weeks. So I've been on Asana, Monday, and Airtable as far as planning and organization software to help me organize my life. And I'm doing the trials to see which one works to combine like organizing stuff for this show and then personally and then stuff for work. So I can have a one-stop shop snapshot of everything that's going on in my life, because
that's good.
It to consolidate, it's going to help me focus more. Otherwise, I'm just going to be all over the place. But I haven't figured out which one I like better yet. But, if you guys know of anything, put that in your as a feedback as part of decluttering. So that may help. Also, set some goals, like the goal of decluttering your closet, and work backwards. Where do you want to be in 1, 5, or 10 years? Like, if you know in a year you want to fit in those jeans that you kept, that you said you needed to keep, then what are you doing to take care of that? If you're going to do some business goals in 5 years, or a promotion or education or something, what are you going to do? What's the ultimate, and work back? And how long is it going to take you? Are there courses you need to do or take? And then 10 years, you want to be a millionaire. What do you want to do? How are you going to be a millionaire? Are you going to be, whatever those goals are, that be smart about it. And I cannot remember that SMART acronym right now, but we can y'all can look it up. Just be smart about your goals.
Yeah,
going forward.
You have to. And one of the things you just mentioned that I thought about that I use, when you were talking about finding a planning system that works for you, I have a problem with keeping up with my passwords to things. It's challenging because I'm on a lot of different websites for a lot of different things, and I can't remember my password, and I just don't have the time. I don't have the mental space to and this is good because we're going to talk about decluttering your mind. So to declutter my mind, I try not to have so many passwords there because I can't remember. And it's not safe to use the same password. Well, a lot of us do use the same password for like every platform we're on because it's just easier to remember. And it took me getting hacked into with my bank account once. Well, a couple of times this has happened, to stop using the same password. So now what I do is I use this app called 1Password. You can download it on your computer, and you can download the extension in your Google Chrome. And 1Password actually generates passwords for you.
Really?
And it will store it. Yes. And so every time you go to a website, you will it'll say autofill, and it'll autofill everything for you. Now, this does come with a fee. It's like a yearly fee, I believe. I don't know offhand, I'm sorry, how much the yearly fee is. But I was like, I will invest in the yearly fee because I need this to just be like free in my mind, because I can't remember and I don't have time.
Taxing. It is so taxing
to try to come up with all these complicated passwords. They want your blood type.
They do. And then I forget that I need to go look for the password, and then you start out and it takes you off a trajectory, and then you're like, I can't be bothered. And then you start doing something else, and then you thought you logged in, but you didn't because you had to remember the password. It's too much.
It's too much. So what I do now is I use that. So 1password.com, and it's a vault. You actually have to have a password so that's the only password you really need to remember. The password to log into 1Password. And so you do have to remember one, but you do it to log in, and then all of your passwords are there.
I'm gonna look that up.
You should. It's a very good. You can put the app on your phone, and like I said, if you use Chrome like I do, you can put the extension in your Chrome. It may be in other web browsers. I don't know. I just use Chrome, so I can't tell you.
Chrome is usually the most compatible with everything.
Yeah, it is. So
unless you're the feds and
yeah.
That part.
So that's one way to declutter your mind, right? You could just clutter your physical space, and you're like, well, how can decluttering my physical space help me declutter my mind? Well, as you declutter your physical space, you'll discover that your mind is also decluttered. How? Have you ever been at your desk and stuff is just everywhere, and you can't focus on whatever the task or assignment is that you have, and you can't focus, and you're like, I don't understand why I can't focus. I would say take a break, look at the space around you. If the space around you is a mess, there's probably why you cannot function.
Right. Unless you're Einstein.
Yes, unless you're Einstein.
Yeah, unless you're Einstein. But however, that's usually not the case for most people.
Excuse me. I find that when my physical space that I'm working in is cluttered, I am a hot mess.
And you're like distracted. You can't focus on the task at hand.
Absolutely. And then I'm trying to multitask, which isn't always good. So declutter your physical space. Sometimes you need to write it down. I'm the type of person that I still like old school stuff. I like writing it down.
I love a journal and a date book or a planner.
You don't need to keep everything in your brain. Choose a tool. It can be an online tool, an app. You could a pad and paper, a pad and paper, a pad of paper, and just write stuff down. I started keeping a pad, and I started keeping, what do you call it? A pen.
Paper next.
And paper, yes. I'm losing my mind. Because I got too much stuff in my head.
That's why you need to declutter.
Yes. I keep a pen and a piece of paper by my bed because sometimes I'll wake up or I'll be trying to go to sleep and my mind is racing and I'm like, oh, I forgot this.
That's a good self-care tactic.
It is, and it helps. So as soon, because I'm in my mind like, I can't forget this. And it would drive me crazy. And then I would wind up forgetting it anyway. So what I do now is whatever I have in my brain that I'm trying to remember, I write it down. Then that way I can release all that stuff and go to sleep.
Right. And there's a connection with it being in your head, repeating it to yourself and writing it down. With that action, you're more likely to remember.
Yes, you are. Yes. Sometimes you may need to keep a journal for the same purposes. So that is also a good way of decluttering, your mind.
Yes.
There are things that we just need to write down as a way to keep, order.
Yeah.
As a way to keep record. You may need to remember, I don't know, what the doctor said.
Yes, I definitely do that for all my medical stuff. Like I have my own folder, I have a timeline, I have a spreadsheet where I keep stuff. I have one book where I write down whatever my calls are with my doctors, and then I have somewhere else to store it to keep track of the appointment, what was said, if there were any lab results and stuff like that. So, and it does help.
It does.
It does help.
And it's good for, like, I know when I was pregnant with Charlie, I kept a journal to just track how I was feeling, what was going on. And I think that is good for historical purposes. If I, when she gets older and she wants to know this information, I don't have to go into my mind, like, here, read this, girl, because I ain't got the time. I don't remember, but this book will tell you everything you need to know.
Exactly. It's so important. And they do it now, like with the vaccinations. That you're getting tracked. And I had we're all vaccinated and did all that great stuff. So, and keeping track of your symptoms, same thing.
Yes,
same concept.
Yes. Very good, very good. Yes, that's a good example. Let go of the past. And I know you're probably thinking, how can I let go of the past help with decluttering my mind?
Yes.
Well, a lot of times we have drawers in our mind that are filled with all these mistakes that we feel we made, opportunities that we missed,
regrets.
Maybe people that we've hurt, regrets, grievances, whatever. And sometimes it's just good to go through those drawers, pull those files out, and say, you know what? I need to let this go and toss it.
That's where the journal can come in.
Yes. And journaling, put it down, and then just let it go. Because a lot of people tend to live with a lot of shame. Yes. And that shame then manifests itself into so many other things. So it's important to sometimes just say, you know what? I did that. Let me forgive myself for that and move on.
If you need to write it down, burn it, let it go off into the sunset, put it in a bottle. Don't really litter, but you know what I'm saying. If that's what your area to release, if you have a particular mantra that you need to release, then, use that as part of decluttering.
Yes. And go back to our episode of forgiveness, because in that you may find a lot of tools that will help you let go of the past.
Definitely.
Stop multitasking. This is something that I mentioned not too long ago.
Yes.
It's not good. I know we think that if we are multitaskers that we are somehow like,
it's a badge of honor.
It is. And it's not. A lot of times, no, it's hard.
I just went to a training about it. They're like, you stop it. You can't.
Stop. multitasking is the devil's work. I'm telling you. It makes you think
that you're doing more than you are.
And then you really are.
You're running in place. You're running in place.
You really are. And you have all these unfinished tasks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I used to do that, run myself ragged. I'm like, okay, I'm going to clean my house. I go into the bathroom. I start cleaning the bathroom, and then I go out to get a drink of water. I'm like, oh, this needs to clean. So I start cleaning in the kitchen. And then I see something in the kitchen that should be in the living room. So then I go in the living room, like, oh, this needs to clean. And then at the end of the day, I'm like, well, what the hell did I finish?
That's how you're like adult ADHD. Because we're adults, and part of adulting is remembering all this stuff, and you walk into a room, and if you remember what you're in the room for, you find something else to do.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just...
So just don't do that. Like, start with one important area.
Yeah.
Clear it and move on. So if you are someone, okay, your kitchen, everybody has a clutter drawer.
Yes.
Clean out your clutter drawer. Start there. Start small. And then expand.
Yeah.
But just don't think
Give yourself an accomplishment.
Yes. It's not... Don't try to cook and clean and, don't try to do all that.
Or empty your entire closet, put all the clothes in one room because you're going to reorganize your closet.
Right.
That's too much.
That's too much.
Just start with the button-down shirts.
Right.
Or something to that effect.
We want to limit the amount of information that's coming in. Set a limit on the amount of time that you're going to spend on social media sites, browsing the internet. Unsubscribe from any blogs, cancel any magazine subscriptions that are not contributing to the quality of life, to your quality of life and or well-being. Make sure that the opinions you pay attention to come from well-regarded individuals with relevant credentials.
Thank you.
This is very important. This is that Derek Jackson. A lot of y'all out there listening to him, he didn't have the proper credentials, and look what happened.
Yeah. But it happens so often.
It does. It's
on multiple levels.
Multiple levels. There are a lot of internet therapists out there, and people.
I'm gonna start my own business soon. I'm gonna be an internet therapist.
I mean, hey, we could be internet therapists. We out here healing people.
Right.
We out here trying to heal people.
That's what I'm saying. I don't see why not. I got my degree in psych. I can do this.
Right. Me too, right?
Right. You got the legal ramifications.
Hello.
What's allowed or what?
Good morning.
That's what we gonna do, y'all. No, just here. Just be mindful.
Just don't do it. And even us, we say we're not experts. Everything that we tell you all is from our own personal experience. So you could take it or you could leave it. We're not telling you that this is how you should live your life. And that is how you should take the information that you receive from outside sources.
Assume everyone has a disclaimer.
Yes. Because we got disclaimers because we sometimes can be trash.
Everybody had their moments, girl. Everybody.
Be decisive. This is important. Make a decision. Stick to it. Create pro and con list. It can be, but create a pro and con list, right? Put routine decisions on autopilot. What you gonna have for breakfast this week? That is a routine if I'm gonna eat oatmeal every day. Make the oatmeal, eat it every day. That's one decision you don't have to think about.
Yep.
You're going to have, you're going to work out. I'm going to work at 11 o'clock Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Make an appointment for yourself.
Yes.
Make an appointment for yourself.
That's a good way to say that. Instead of putting in an autopilot, make appointments for yourself. Because then you don't have to make those decisions.
I do that for work. Like when you have your calendar at work and you have 60 million things to do, schedule like my lunchtime is scheduled as a meeting.
Yeah, mine is too.
Yeah,
mine
so nobody
is too.
Can schedule that time.
Mine
I have to do emails.
Yes,
it's an email. Yes. It's I have like ERT, email reconciliation time is what is on my calendar for certain times where I just need to decompress and look at my department.
Yep. I have my lunch hour blocked off as a meeting so that nobody tries to schedule stuff. And I'll tell you what else you need to do. I start my work day at 6:30 and I'm off at 3 because I have that flexible schedule, which we have in the government. And I like to work early and get some time before I have to be on mom mode, right? And so there are people who don't start at the same time as me. That's not my problem. So what I do is at 3 o'clock, I block off 3 to 5 so that you understand that whatever meeting you put after 3 o'clock, Zarifa ain't attending.
That part.
She's not attending. So
'Cause
you
we
can
just
put
had to
it
do
there.
that. And we change our whole schedule meeting. They're like, Nelly, can we meet on this? I said, I'm sorry. Don't you see that's blocked out? Yeah.
Reclaim your time, sis, because what we
Reclaim
not
that
gonna
time.
do.
Reclaiming it. Reclaim it. That is so true.
And then you can make the decision as to whether or not you want to, pull that back. So there are some meetings that I know I absolutely have to be there for.
Right.
Then I will do that, but you're going to pay me for that time. You're going to give me some credit hours or something. I'm not just going to give it to you for free.
Thank you.
I put my 8 in.
Didn't need that comp.
Yeah, you want to start your day at 8 o'clock. That's on you. That ain't on me. That ain't got nothing to do with me.
Because I am not available.
It's not in my ministry to work past 3
Hello.
o'clock.
And girl, I'm so thankful that I've gotten better with that. I stop at 5:30 now.
You have to.
Like before, y'all know I used to work till 11, 12 o'clock, but I really have cut that back.
You have to. It's called, and that's another way to declutter your mind. Prioritize. Prioritize your time. Prioritize the things that are important to you. Yes. Because once you do that, you're able to really release a lot of that stress and that anxiety, and you're able to focus and have a clearer view of what to do moving forward.
Right. So
that's important. What you need to do. And then meditate. If
okay.
Just meditate
to create that space. And meditation is not the whole Nomyo Reikyo thing that we always see on TV with Tina Turner. There are so many different ways that meditation can present itself. It could be taking a walk. It could be reading a book. It could just be literally just looking out the window for 5-10 minutes and detaching from whatever you got going on currently. Doing some deep breaths. I mean, it really is what gives you peace. If that's playing what do you like, Candy Crush for 10 minutes or something like that, one of those little design games or something. That could be your little meditation space just to give you a sigh. Right. So important. And it helps you focus on the other things that you need to do, because if your mind isn't clear, how are you going to declutter your closet? How are you going to be able to declutter your email? Because your brain is going to be racing all over the place, and where do you start with all this? Because you have to start somewhere. You have to, and it could just mean taking 10 minutes to sort through a pile on your desk. Now, this isn't to create another pile of other piles, which we all, but there should be trash. Yes. And okay, I need to get back to this, with a date. With it and sort those things out, and then when you're going through that, or just through life, if you come upon something, do I really need that? Do I use it all the time? Am I in love with it? Does it give me goosebumps every time I see it? Does it bring me joy? Or something to that effect. And making sure if you pick something up from where you got it, try to put it back. That will reduce the amount of clutter.
Sure, we tell kids to do that. We tell toddlers. Yes. I tell my daughter all the time, put your toys back. But you have to lead by example. If I'm not putting the stuff that I take out back, how's she going to take? She's probably looking at me but you're not doing that, sis.
Right.
So
right. Come on now. This is not do as I say, not as I do type of situation.
Right. This is just do what I do. Watch me.
Exactly. Follow through.
I'm putting my stuff back. You need to put your stuff back.
And don't stay on it for all day. Sometimes you just need a burst, like a sprint, 10-15 minutes, check, put it down. You've accomplished it, and then move back to it the next day, and start tomorrow or something like that. But it's progress. And if you want to go do more because you're in a groove, by all means, but don't do it to the point where you're overwhelmed. And I cannot stress this enough. If you need to hire somebody, go ahead, sis. Hire that person to help you organize, laundry, assistant, what have you.
Let me tell you,
house cleaning services, whatever. If you need a personal I need a personal organizer.
I need somebody that's going to do my laundry. I'm overdoing laundry. Laundry is not in my ministry. I just don't like it.
Right.
I put it off to the last minute, and then I got 50 loads to wash. I don't like it, and I'm over it. I am over it, and I am in the process of looking for a company, a reputable service that will come and pick my shit up and drop it back off, or I'll even drive it to you. I just don't want to do it anymore.
Yes.
I just don't. And maybe that's a side hustle for anybody who's living out there. Living out there.
Hey, that's opportunity. Space and opportunity.
Right. If you like to do laundry, you maybe turn that into a hustle.
Hey.
To make a little bit more money, so that when you declutter your shit, you could buy new shit, but in
and replace
it. That's a thing, and I'm gonna tell you, do it, because we were having this conversation last night. We were watching. Oh, we were talking about. I forgot what we were talking about or what we were watching, but we were watching some show about trap queens, and this girl's grandfather, he used to run a dollar van, and I'm like, Black people, and I'm telling y'all, in every city that urban area, Black people created Uber and Lyft way before Uber and Lyft.
Before it was called that.
Right. You had jitneys in Pittsburgh, hacks in Philly, okay? Dollar vans down, the dollar bus. There's so many gypsy cabs. There's so many opportunities that Black people could have capitalized. And we didn't. Now you got Uber and Lyft that's doing the same thing.
Same exact thing.
20, 30 years ago. Even longer than that.
Longer than that. Everybody need to go somewhere. And I think that started, dare I say, during the civil rights movement when they did the busing.
They wouldn't let us take cabs. They wouldn't let us
everybody piled into one car and said, let's go.
So,
opportunity,
so,
y'all.
I'm just saying, if you like to do laundry, that could be a side hustle. I'm telling you. I don't like to do it.
There are some
so if
people
you like
that
to do
will.
it, I will pay you to do it. Okay. And I know that they weigh about the pound, I think, and that's how they charge you. All this stuff. They'll fold it. Look.
And you just show up.
I will give it to you. I don't care. Please. You don't understand.
You could even just send it out, and then once it's organized and folded, then you can decide, am I going to keep this or am I not? Because some of that stuff is in piles, and it's like wrinkled, or it's just like I can't see myself in it or whatever. But if you see it organized, you can be like, you know what? I'm going to put this over here. I'm going to give it away, sell it, because now it's already been washed and primed and primed, and then put it on OfferUp, put it on Poshmark. Boom, there you go. You can give it away too. I'm not saying you can't, but if you try to make some coins, that's another way to market it, because it ought to be pressed fresh and ready to go.
Because I'm telling you, I can't. Like, a lot of us, due to the pandemic, we started using services like Instacart, which I will never use again, but that's a whole nother story. Instacart shipped. Amazon, I get Amazon Fresh in my area. There are other probably delivery services that I'm not aware of.
Yeah.
But
sure.
Those are things that help with convenience. And I'm telling you, this morning, prime example, I was not cooking. I was not cooking breakfast. Sorry. Again, it's about convenience, about decluttering my mind. It's about having one less thing to think about. I ordered. I woke up, grabbed my phone, went to Uber Eats, picked the favorite breakfast spot we like, ordered it, done. I don't have to think about it. Autopilot decision. So it's one less thing.
That's a luxury for you, a luxury of spending more time with the family, luxury of time just chilling out with your husband, laying in the bed, whatever.
Right.
Just zoning out. And I think when, circling back to some of the conversations about what we think is luxury. Luxury can be tied to convenience, and some people may think that is a luxury, but the luxury of convenience is a thing. It is. It helps you with so much in your life.
It is. So, and speaking to this, you have to understand that decluttering will change your life for the better. Like we just gave an example of how it can, right? If you're hiring out, if you're getting someone to come in to clean your house, or you're getting someone to come in and organize, or if you're getting someone to wash your clothes, or you might need an assistant to schedule all your doctor's appointments and dental appointments for you and your family. You know what I mean? Those things will help change your life for the better. So
why do you think celebrities are not stressed?
Well, they stress. They stress for different reasons.
This is true.
Certain things that we
could relate to, right? And it's because they have these things
taken care of. Sometimes a cluttered home can seriously affect your health, right?
Yes.
It can cause anxiety. It can impair your sleep. It can reduce your focus. It can, and that's something that us black folks, we can't have any more anxiety other than
about
what we already
anything.
have.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We don't
Y'all
need
seen
that.
hoarding. You've seen hoarding.
Yes, we can't have any
Can't have that.
extras. Okay.
That is not good for you on
No.
multiple levels.
No. Decluttering can cleanse your mind. We talked about this, right? If your home is in turmoil, it probably reflects the chaos in your subconscious mind.
I mean, there's organized chaos for some folks.
Yeah, but I don't live in that realm.
Usually that's not the norm.
No, it's not.
It's, there's a difference.
It is big difference. It reduces stress and anxiety. It does. Like today, like I said, I decided there's certain things I'm just not going to engage in. And I found ways to work around that. And now I'm not as stressed and I'm not as anxious, right? Because I'm not thinking about dinner. I'm not thinking about what we're going to have. Those things have already been decided and taken care of. So all I have to do is execute. That's all I have to do. I know that this sounds crazy, but decluttering will improve your digestive system. Think about it. If you're decluttering your mind,
yes,
if you declutter your house, like, you think about it. If your mind is full of crap, your house is full of crap, you probably are getting reflux. You're probably having poor digestion because you're stressed. Why? Because you're eating and you're cleaning.
That's how people develop ulcers.
Hello.
They don't give that time for your body to digest because your brain and your energies are elsewhere and your body needs that.
Yes. And trust me, I know, because I suffer. I don't know if you used to say suffer from ulcers, but I have an ulcer and I understand the severity of what it can do to your body when it's active and how stress plays a huge part in that. So whenever I can reduce the stress in my life, I reduce the stress in my life. Declutter can get rid of harmful pathogens in your home. Think about it. If you have a lot of dust buildup, dirt buildup, pet hair, if you have pets, mold, all of that stuff can get into your body. It can give you allergies, asthma, right? Any type of respiratory condition, COPD, a lot of things. Inflammation, it can lead to chronic illness. So you really do have to be mindful of how your home is working and serving you. You actually have more time, which is true. I told you. I had more time this morning with my family because I wasn't cooking.
Yep.
I decluttered my mind. I wasn't going to sit there and think about what I'm going to make, how I'm going to make it, how much time I have until
I got to wash the dishes. I got to take them out.
Right. I got to tape. I got to make sure that Charlie's dressed so that she can go outside with her dad. I didn't have, nope.
Yeah.
It can strengthen friendships. There are a lot of people who don't want people to come over to their house because they don't want to see how they're living. And I'm gonna tell you, if your
all the time on TV. Yeah, on them programs.
I got one time. I'll come to your house one time if it's a mess, and that's it. You won't catch me again. I can't, because I can't be comfortable in that space with you. Now, but I'm also going to ask you: are you all right?
That part, because I will say sometimes, and that is such a point. Because you know what, if you are in a particular mindset and it's manifesting in how you're taking care of your space, because maybe you are mentally, physically overwhelmed and are not able to address what is going on. And if your friends or loved ones, keeping them out can be just as detrimental in your mind as bringing them in, but it could help you get out of what you're getting out of.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so I've seen, I think it was like, for example, the movie P.S. I Love You. I don't, if whatever her name is, I can't remember her name right now. Her husband passed away, and she lives like in her apartment for like a month or two, and her family was like knocking or like let us in. She was having food delivered, and then she finally let somebody in. They were like, "Oh no, we got to fix this," and it helped her start the healing process for her, and everything. So it's a big deal. It can be very important for you.
It is. It can improve your sex life. Again, if you're not spending all that time cleaning and trying to declutter your house, you have more time to spend with your partner. Or in the opposite, you may be stressed about all of the things that are going on in the house, and that affects your performance. So it's a good thing to make sure that, again, that aspect of your home is taken care of so that you could take care of the other aspects of your home.
We don't want that to come into play. You don't want to
Hello,
have
good
that
morning.
negative.
No,
that's
ma'am.
a no.
No, ma'am.
That's a stress reliever in and of itself.
It is. So, clutter can make you feel permanently tired.
Yeah.
If your mind is currently racing because you have all of these things in there, you're going to burn yourself out. If your house is in a cluttered state, you're not going to be able to function, and you're going to be in a permanently exhausted state.
Everywhere you look, there's something, and you're like,
everywhere.
It's just your brain. It's normal. Your brain cannot. It's too much stimulation.
Yes,
it's too much stimulation.
Exerting and spending more mental energy thinking about what's going on that and around you, that by the time it's time to really think about the things that you need to think about and focus on the things you need to focus on, you can't.
Yes,
why? Because you've expended all your mental energy on the clutter.
Yes, that is so true. There's in our house usually we wash the dishes and put them up before we go to bed. Almost every single night, unless there's been an event.
Yeah,
or we've had something, and it helps so much because when we come down in the morning, it's like you're just like,
exactly.
And you can start your day. You're not going in like, oh, damn it, I have to wash these damn dishes. And it can set the tone for your day.
It can. That is a good example. Because if you wake up to clutter and go to sleep to clutter, you're always in this constant cycle of clutter. And when do you get out of it?
Right.
That's good. That's good. And clutter negatively impacts your decision-making skills. Again, you get more frustrated because you see all this, you're annoyed by the clutter that you see. So you make decisions differently than if you had a clear head.
That is such a good one. I don't think people realize that. That's like a lasting, impactful outcome of having clutter in your life.
Yep. How many times have you made a decision like, damn, I would have made a different decision or better decision had I had time to really sit and think about it. But you may not have had the time because you're looking at all this shit around you and you're like, I can't take it. This is just it. I'm going to make this decision so I can just be done with it.
Exactly.
Okay. Let's do better. Let's be better. Okay. And that's pretty much, I mean, I know people are thinking, oh, declutter, I'm just thinking about my house. No, there are a lot of different ways you can declutter your life that will help improve your life, your overall well-being. Again, we're all about self-care here. So any way we can give you advice
and
or suggestions. What is the problem with me and my pronunciations? I said something in the.
You know why? It's because she's so relaxed.
She's it could be.
It's because she don't have no clutter in her mind right now, so she just going with the flow. Like, yeah, I'm gonna let it
go. Could be, or it could be that my mind is cluttered, and I just like who's to say? Who's to say?
Right.
But we hope that there are some helpful tips. And tools that we were able to give to you during this episode. And again, if you got the plug on a laundry service and you're in the DMV area, please hit me up because I am dead ass trying not to wash ever again. Okay,
opportunity. That is a luxury. I mean, people used to do that all the time for sending out your laundry service.
Because I will budget for it, and I will put it because again, I will pay for it if it. And that's the thing. I'm going to pay for something if it frees me up someplace else.
Yes. People will pay for that. People pay for convenience.
That's
do. Why, because that is time. Why there's those meal delivery services, which I participate
absolutely. In. And let me say something. You know why? Because you can always get money back. You cannot get time back.
That is true. Never.
They're not inventing any more time. You understand what I'm saying? You're not getting any more time. You're not going to get a raise in time.
Yes.
You can't find hustles to give you more time. You understand what I'm saying? You can find hustles to give you more money, but not more time. So I would rather have my time because I know how valuable and precious that is and spend the money for it. I'd rather do that. And that is the mindset that we all should have.
Yes. Level up and enjoy that time that you've been given. We all have 24 hours in the day. How do we use them?
How do we use them? And I'm trying to tell you, I'm trying to spend at least 20 of them doing what the hell I want to do.
And not laundry.
And laundry is not one of those things. And on that note, we're going to take a quick break and come back with our last sip of the day.
Mm-hmm.
And we're back. This is the last sip of tea with your hood Dalai Lama. Clearing clutter, be it physical, mental, emotional, or spiritual, brings about ease and inspires a sense of peace, calm, and tranquility. And that is attributed to Lori Buchanan, PhD. And I don't have any, fluff to add to this. I think we've said enough about the importance of decluttering your mind, body, and spirit. And I hope that you all take some time to do that, even if it's 10 minutes of your day, to just sit down, decompress, find something to declutter. And I promise you, it will give you so much more clarity and help you focus and plan for the future. And seriously, give me that laundry service.
I hope y'all hear her, y'all. Hear what she's saying. Pick up what you're putting down, okay? Pick it up like the laundry. She's hoping someone does. So, thank y'all for joining us this week on Sippin' Tea with Nat Z. You can follow us on Instagram at sippintea_NatZ_pod, and also on Facebook at Sippin' Tea Nat Z. Get information on our podcast, topics, guests, and news, and keep an eye and ear out for posts and our new episode. Have an awesome week, y'all. Take care of yourself.